all you fashion economist cats and kittens. It's Carol Baskin here, coming to you live from Big Cat Rescue. Just kidding. I wish. Okay, let's get back into assignment 3. And now I'm going to go through slide 3. So in video 1, I went through how to do slide 2 with you. And now in video 3, I'm going to demonstrate how to go through slide 3. Now, this is a bit of math. We would have worked on this together in class. It's not advanced math. You've probably done harder in Econ 110, which is a requirement for this course. So I'm sure you're not going to be as intimidated as you might think. So give it a whirl. I highly recommend on paper by hand practicing using the template that I'm going to show you below. And setting a realistic goal for how much you think your new business venture will create in only 6 months. I'll walk you through that in a second. And then what you're going to do is you're going to break that 6-month goal down into each month. And we're going to think thoughtfully about what we will sell in each month. You should be using the same currency that you've been using since assignment 1. So if you're selling your stuff in a country that does not use US dollars, aka every country that is not the USA, so none of you are using US dollars, you should be sticking to that currency. So you might have to do a little bit of conversion work, but you should be presenting in the same currency throughout this entire semester. So after you've practiced, you're going to fill in your floor set date for month 1, and then fill in the months column, which I'll show you in just a second. And then we'll work through the rest. So basically you're going to use this exact template right here. So in month 1, that's your first month when your product's on the floor. And let me show you how we work through this. So I'm going to go off-roading here a little bit to show you the demonstration, and then we'll come back and make sure that I hit on all of these different points here. So let me get my trusty calculator up here and my demonstration file here for you. So you shouldn't be copying exactly this because your business is going to be a little bit different, right? So we know that from my last example, I was going to set the floor in June. So the month 1 is going to be June in this case. Why is it month 0 here and month 1 there? That's a great question that I'm sure many of you have. So here it's because we want to set the floor in June, right? So that becomes our kind of countdown, our deadline, right? We need to get everything into store by then, and we plan backwards from there to make sure we can get everything in store by then. Here, we're planning more forward. So now we know that that product's going to hit in June, and we know that we're going to keep selling in July. And May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So that's how long our product is going to be in store for our seasonal sales goal. So you can take out those numbers there now. If you want, you can go all the way up. I won't do that just because I'm trying to get this sort of the point across, but you can take out the numbers there, would be maximum professionalism. Now, you're going to need to think about how much you're going to sell of each of these different products in each month. Now, this adds up to 100, right? So you need to sell 100% of your stock. You need to sell it all. So this column right here should represent 100% of your stock. Ideally, you want to sell it all. Now, remember, we're selling sweaters in Brazil, right? So we can expect that we're going to set our floor in June, meaning that product's not going to be in store for the entire month of June. So probably our sales are going to be just a little bit lower on that month. Then in July, people know our store's there. Maybe they start coming. We've got a full month of sales in July, so maybe we have something like 18% in sales there. In August, let's say things are pretty cold in Brazil that month, or cold as they're going to be anyway, and so we've got pretty high demand for sweaters, but we're starting to sell through some of our stock, right? We're starting to maybe run out of a few sizes, so our sales might be a little bit lower than in July, or maybe the best colors are starting to run out. Maybe in September, it's still quite cold and we have a little burst of sales because that's when we start putting things on sale, right? We're starting to mark stuff down. It's been in store for 3 months. We need to start making room for a new product. Remember, this is just that one collection that you're launching with. Then maybe in October, we have a super duper sale, right? Because we really need to liquidate all that stock. And maybe there's some sort of special event in Brazil in October that results in a spike in sales. And then in November, we don't have very much stuff left in store and it's all on sale. So as far as making a lot of dough goes, we're not really going to make a lot of money with all of our stock on sale. So even though we might be selling more units because we're liquidating a lot of stuff at a lower price, because we're getting that lower price, we're still not going to get as much of our monthly sales in that month. So that's why I've chosen to break down this example in this way. When you're thinking about how much you're going to sell each month, you should be thinking about what are the special events in the area where you're selling. So let's say you're selling in Canada, for example. None of you are, so this is a good example. But on July 1st, that's when we have Canada Day, and a lot of people tend to like go shopping and stuff right around or right before that, especially for Canadian themed merchandise. So if you're a store like Roots, you can count on selling quite a lot in that month, for example. So those are the kind of things you need to be thinking about related to your business. If you just simply copy and paste in these percentages, you're probably not going to be hitting the right percentages for your business in your location. So this is going to require a little bit of thinking. Now, to get these rates, we're going to need to think about some of this stuff. So let's say I work for company XYZ and I want to sell these things in Brazil. I'm going to Google it. How much do they sell per year? What are their annual revenues? And all of you should already have this from your mini pitch, right? From assignment 1. You already have this information. So this shouldn't be breaking your brain to find it. So let's say my annual sales are $1 million, right? Give or take. So let's say we have $1 million in sales. And let's say that I have 100 stores globally, right? So to get this annual revenue divided by the number of stores, this is going to give me the average dollars that we sell per store. So we're going to take $1 million and we're going to divide that by 100 stores. This is just to get a rough estimate. So that means that on average, each store is selling about $10,000 per year, right? That's not a lot. So just keep that in mind. Your stores are probably all selling many millions. $10,000 a year is not going to keep you in business. So, but for the purposes of our example, I like to keep the math as easy as possible so you can come up with your own numbers when you practice. So that means that our average dollars per store here is 10,000. I would probably take that line out. I'm not sure why that's there. We'll fix that because it's a bit repetitive. So then this means that we need to figure out our 6-month seasonal sales goal for the new store. So we would do this quite simply by dividing this number. So this is our annual goal, and we need to figure out how much are we going to sell every 6 months. There's 12 months in a year, so half of the year is 6 months. So if we just divide that by 2, that gives us $5,000, right? So that's a seasonal sales goal. In 6 months, we should be hitting $5,000 so that we can make sure that this store is performing on par with the other stores in our chain. So this is how you would get an estimate. And again, I'll reiterate, it is just an estimate, but it's, there's a way of working backwards, and we can reasonably expect that our new store should be making about $5,000 for a 6-month period. So now we know that we need to make $5,000 for the seasonal sales, right? So this actually, you're going to actually, in this case, copy and paste that amount all the way down, because the seasonal sales goal is the same no matter what, right? We're still wanting to get that $5,000 in that 6-month period. No matter which way you slice it, that's what we're going for. All right, I'm not going to go for formatting perfection here because it's just going to slow us down. So that's where we go from there. And okay, I said I wasn't going to be a perfectionist, and then here I go. All right, so we actually have the equation worked out for you right here. I've written it right up there, so there shouldn't be a lot of guesswork. We're going to now try and figure out exactly how much we should have of our monthly sales, right? So if we want to make $5,000 in the 6 months, we should be able to figure out how much we need for each month based on all of this information here. So to get that, all we have to do is take the percent times the seasonal sales goal, and that's going to give us our monthly sales goal. So let's calculate it out. So we've got 0.15, so that's 15% times 5,000. That's our seasonal sales goal, equals $750. So we should be able to sell $750 to meet our plan in June. Now, 0.18 times 1, 2, 3, 4, whoop, one too many 5 zeros. Here we go. So we need to sell $900 in July. 0.14 times 5. We got $700 we need to do in August. $850. Then we got our big month. We have a special event in that month, or we know that it's warm weather maybe, and so more people are shopping in our shopping area at that time. You can make those decisions for yourself based on some research in your business. Okay, so then we've got 10% times 5,000, which is 500. I should have known that one offhand. That was a bit silly. Here we go. Oh, come on, let me put it in there. $500. Boom. So that gives me my monthly sales goals for the whole time. So that means that in June I need to that means in June I need to sell $750 to meet my plan. In July I need to sell $900 to meet my plan. So this column should add up to 5,000, and if it doesn't, you've made an error here. So let's double check our math to make sure. 750 plus 900 plus 700 plus 850 plus 1,300 plus 500. Boom. Looks like we did all that math correctly. Hallelujah. So that's how you would work out this table. It is not as intimidating as it might seem at first. Keep in mind that all of those percentages are right there for you. So in this slide, you're going to have that floor set date. You're going to figure out what your reasonable 6-month sales expectation should be, making a realistic projection for your expansion idea. Think about, are there any months in this table that might sell more than other months? Are there any events that would affect your monthly business? The first month of sales is usually short because it takes time to set the floor. So your percentage of sales should be smaller in that month. And the last month is always smaller too because everything is sold out, right? There's popular colors and sizes that are gone. So you're just simply not going to have the same amount of stock, and a lot of it's on sale. So it's not going to make up as much of your seasonal goal there. And you can see I made sure to add in your equation here for you. So step 3, you're going to create your slide. You can use this part of your template. Write in the names of the months. Adjust those percentages to reflect your research. And while you're presenting this slide, I mean, I can see this, right? So you don't have to go through every single month with me like I just did for you. You're going to tell me why you expect to see that much each month. So if there's a big spike right here, you're going to say that we expect to sell this much this month because there's this cool event happening in our area. Maybe you work for Under Armour, and you know there's Peloton down the street that does a big sale that week or something. So that's how you're going to complete slide 3. I'm going to stop this video here, and I will come back and give you the last slide in our next video.